Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's look we're jumping right into. It is Rihanna at the CFDA Awards 2014. Now, if you're not immediately familiar with this look, it is the iconic makeup that went with her sheer naked dress, one of the best fashion moments of all time. And not only was her fashion on point, but her makeup was phenomenal. So let's jump right in and start with the eyes today. Now, normally I like to do my foundation first, but with a very heavy, strong eye, I like to do the eyes first. That way, if we need to clean up anything, we can do that without having to worry about foundation. So to start off, we're going to go in with a nice nude. And this is going to act as the backdrop for the eye makeup. It just peeks through a little bit right up here and a bit under the lash line. Depending on your coloring, this nude will be different, but I'm going to go in with the color Nice Buns. This one is slightly deeper than my skin tone, especially once I have my foundation on. I'm just dabbing that on a nice fluffy brush, and we're going to cover the entire eyelid as well as up into the crease and a bit above that crease. And now I'm just going below the lash line, switching to a smaller, more condensed brush. Now this is going to be a very dark eye makeup look with a nice pop of shimmer in the inner corners. I have seen this look recreated, and often people choose a gray palette for the look. I do not believe that Rihanna was wearing gray. She has beautiful, warm-toned skin, and though there's a lot of black in the eye makeup look, that shimmery little bit of color popping through appears to be a gorgeous shade of purple. Now, if you have cool-toned skin, you can certainly go ahead and do the look with a gray palette, but for those of us who have more of that warmth in our skin, a deeper purple is going to complement our coloring better. So I'm grabbing my Color Club Suzuki Mini. It's just a beautiful selection of black, white, and purples. And going back with that smaller, denser brush, starting off with black. And I'm just going to start the shape of this beautiful cat eye, gently following the natural shape of my eyelid, and creating that winged shape to really emphasize that cat eye shape. And then also going right underneath that bottom lash line. And we're just putting the black powder in that last third of the lash line. The rest will be filled in with eyeliner. Alright, switching back to a nice fluffy brush. Going to gently blur that line. Right into the deeper nude that we've already put down. Next, we're going to go in with this deeper, smokier purple, and going back to our denser, smaller brush, which has been cleaned off. I'm going to add that purple color to the inner 2/3 of the eye. making sure to get that crease as well. And we're going to add just a hint of that right in this area. And now we can go in with our sparkle, and this one is just going on that first third of the eye and making sure to get some of those sparkles underneath the bottom lash line as well. And don't worry if it looks crazy. A very heavy eye often does before it's completed. Now to finish off the eyeshadow, we are going to go back in with the black. That black acted as a nice base for the other colors. It makes them smokier, but we do want to emphasize that very dark corner. Then we're going to give that a final gentle blend. And now we can grab our makeup wipe and go in and clean up these crazy lines, making that nice and sharp. And now let's go in with some eyeliner. I'm going to go in with the Revlon Color Stay. This one is most definitely in black, and it has a nice fine tip, but it is a crayon. The bottom lash, I am covering the waterline. Alright, so once our eyes are outlined, I am going to switch over to a liquid eyeliner. By liquid, I do mean this nice pen form. I find this is much better for creating a wing with this type of eyeshadow. For a wing, we want to follow the shape that we've already created. This nice pointy line, connecting it to the top and doing a nice classic cat eye. And now that our wing is in place, we can just very gently feather that eyeliner out. It goes in the slightest bit of a curve. And to complete the eyes, we most definitely need some false lashes. For today's look, I'm using the Naked Clusters by Ardell. Starting off with my larger clusters, just placing them on the outside of my eye. And so we have two pairs of the thicker 14mm ones. Now I'm going in with a 12mm cluster. Now as we approach the center of the eye, I'm moving down to 10mm. And once the glue has dried, we can go in with some mascara. I'm going to use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Sky High. I'm really getting a nice amount on this bottom lash line. Her lashes were very covered in this look, and it helps balance out all the eye makeup. Alright, so the eyes are done, but we still have a lot of look left to do. Otherwise, this looks really strange. So I'm going to go ahead and do my foundation now. This is the Estee Lauder in the shade 2N1 Desert Beige. It is a pale neutral, great for those of us with olive skin. And this is a red carpet look, obviously a very bold look, so making sure to use a fair amount of this just so everything stays balanced. I'm just going to blend this in with my nice large brush. And this was 2014, so we certainly had a contour. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario sculpting stick. This one is in the shade medium. And we're going to go fairly heavy. Going right back in with that same foundation brush. Making sure on the chin, swipe down, and on the cheekbones, swiping up. And even though we can't see her forehead in this look, I do suggest bringing that contour all the way up into the forehead, right up into that hairline, to make sure your face stays balanced. And we don't have to be too precise with our nose contour, because we will add the concealer next. Alright, so next I'm going to just add a touch of the Rare Beauty. This is the matte liquid blush in the shade Love. And when I say a touch, I mean just the tiniest touch. We want a little hint of warmth peeking through, but as far as the face goes, the contour is the star. And this just blends beautifully with that shade of contour stick. Alright, so I'm using the Revlon Candid Concealer in the shade 005. And her contour in this look is fairly strong. Don't be afraid to go a little lighter than you might normally with a concealer. Really want to emphasize that triangular shape that our face is creating with this makeup. For this step, we do want a nice makeup sponge, making sure to press the makeup in, not pull it across the face. I'm going to start my initial blend. And then right up near the eyes, I'm going in with a very clean makeup brush, nice and small. Slightly flat. We just want to make sure we get that concealer blended without messing up the eyes that we've created. And the last step for the face will be just a hint more of a powdered bronzer. I'm using Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced. I'm applying this with a nice fluffy brush. Alright, now brows. She has a beautifully arched brow in this look. Hers are quite a bit lighter than her natural hair color. So I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Brow Express in a light brown rather than a black brown. Adding little strokes to the beginning of my brow. Then I'm creating a very light outline just to give my brow a nice arch. Her arch is quite a bit further over than mine. I don't know that I want to manipulate my brows that much. Alright, and last step are the lips. Alright, I'm just cleaning off any foundation, concealer that might have gotten on my lips. Now, depending on the lighting, her lips in this look can look quite pink or quite nude. This is a personal choice for which one you want to lean towards. She rocks both looks so well. I'm more suited for a nude lip, but I do want to compromise by getting some of that bright pink in there. So what I'm going to do is use two different lip liners, one in a nice bright pink. This one is Soft Pink by Italia Deluxe, and this one is Nude from Bare Minerals. So let's start off with our soft pink. And go right over that with the nude. And now for lipstick, I'm going to go in reverse order and use a nude shade from Maybelline. This is in the color 144, Naked Dare. And then going over that with the Rimmel London in the shade Candy. And this one is a much brighter, lighter, poppier pink. Alright, so this is the completed look. Fortunately, I don't have a beautiful rhinestone headdress like she wore. I'm using the best that I have, which is in fact a pair of rhinestone tights that I've wrapped around my head. Let's get a little bit of our hair out here. I don't think I pull it off quite as well as she did, but quite frankly, I don't think anyone does. So this is the completed look, and what a transformation from how crazy the eyes looked in the beginning to now. As you can see, just that hint of purple keeps the look looking very warm and glamorous. All in all, a beautiful look for most special occasions. If you want to wear it to the grocery store because you have nowhere else to wear it, I think that's wonderful. I believe I might do that later today when I go shopping. Makeup should be for fun and all occasions. There is no need to save it for a future event. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Have a wonderful day.